Hey, so I'm here in a little planning session. Have my planner. I'm finishing up January. I decided this month that I'm going to take the entire month to plan the rest of my year. And I'm being very detailed, very meticulous. And it's because I have big intentions and big hopes for 2025 and beyond. I turned 50 this year. And one of the things that keeps coming up in conversation with other people around my age is this concept of getting older and not having that much time left. And I do not share that view. Um, I think the best of my life and the most of my life is still ahead of me. And I don't quantify that in years. I want to live to be 100 or older. I do. I absolutely do. That's one of the goals that I have for my life. Um, and I want to be vibrant and healthy all the way to the end. So that's an expectation that I have. But I see a lot of people in midlife, mid 30s, and definitely 50 and over who seem to have this idea that life is over. And on the flip side, I also see people in midlife who are looking to be something that they've never been before, do things that they've never done before. And that's great. And the mindset behind it is reinvention, reinventing yourself. And that is actually something that I refuse to do. What I have learned, and I can only speak this for myself, what I have learned is that I don't need to reinvent myself. What I needed to do was rediscover who I am. As we go through life in our childhood years, in our teens, in our 20s, 30s, some of us into our 40s and 50s, we fall into the labels, we fall in alignment with the labels that are given to us. We fall into alignment with the vision that is given to us because many of us have not been taught how to dream. We are taught to follow directions. We are taught to follow rules, but we are not taught how to think for ourselves. And we are not taught how to dream for ourselves. How many of you, as children, were told that you have to be realistic? You can't be all of these things because you wanted to be a singer and an astronaut and a trash man and a nurse and a doctor all at the same time. And what happens over the years is as people keep telling you, no, you can't do that. You got to be realistic. You can't do that. You got to be realistic. Eventually, what being realistic actually becomes is settling. It actually becomes you not going after your dreams and falling into something that society, your culture, your family, your environment tells you is successful, but does not feel within yourself, does not feel like that's what you want to do. And if you're like me, as the years went on, there are parts of yourself that you shut down. There are dreams that you once had that you no longer pursue. And they no longer seem as if they're important, but from time to time, they come back up again. And I have one such thing for this year, and it is not reinventing, but rediscovering and reigniting my creative side. You can't see it from here. This is This is like the office section of my whole setup. But on the other side is an easel where I can sit and draw, and there's a sewing machine. And underneath this desk that I'm sitting at is a whole lot of fabric. So I have watercolors, I have pencils, I have fabric, I have thread, I have a sewing machine, and I have my imagination. And throughout this year, one of the things that I'm really going to focus on is just reigniting that creativity within me. It's not something that I'm going to do every single day or even every single week. It might just be once for the month, but I'm figuring out what that's going to look like. But even though it's something that it's not touching the bottom line in any way, it touches my soul. And if it touches my soul, it's important. And it's important enough for me to prioritize it. So that means taking out my planner and deciding, in the midst of all the different responsibilities that I have, that my responsibility to my soul cannot be neglected. So I encourage you, if you are 50 or older, if you're in your 40s, approaching your 50s, you're in that midlife time and you feel like you need to reinvent yourself, to pause on that and instead to rediscover yourself. And you could reignite some of those dreams that you put the fire out on a long time ago. I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey. I'll talk to you soon.